All right. Calling meeting to order, MPO meeting, MPO policy meeting, not city council. Meeting date, March the 19th, 2025, 1:30 p.m. Cerro Laredo Council Chambers. Chairperson, call me on roll. Roll call, please.
Yes, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll have Ms. Gracie Briones call roll.
Yes, good afternoon. Mayor Dr. Victor D. Trevino,
Present.
Judge Tano Tijerina,
Present.
Councilmember Ricardo Rangel Jr.,
Present.
Councilmember Ruben Gutierrez Jr., Commissioner Jesse Gonzalez, Commissioner John Galo, Councilmember Vanessa Perez, Mr. Epigmenio Epi Gonzalez,
Present.
Mr. Jed Brown.
Present.
For the record, you have a quorum, Mayor.
All right, thank you. We'll proceed with citizens' comments. Do we have any citizen comments?
I believe we don't have any at this time.
All right, thank you. All right, proceed to item number 4. Approval of the minutes for meeting held on February 19, 2025.
So moved.
Motion,
If there's no corrections or anything, I'll second that.
second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Number B, receive public testimony and initiative for 10-day public review and comment period for the proposed amendments to the 2025-2028 Transportation Improvement Program, TIP.
Thank you, Mayor Dr. Trevino. For this item, Ms. Briones will present. We can wait till after the presentation, but we do need to ask if anyone's here to speak for or against this item, and then we would open a 10-day comment period.
All right.
Thank you.
For or against? For or against? For or against? Any motion? No.
I'm waiting on the presentation.
None heard.
You have a concern?
All right.
Yeah, we're just presenting a few slides, but for some reason they're not coming out on the
On the screen, yes. Unless they, did they see them? Did you see?
I can't see it. I'm seeing the live video, the live feed. I don't know who we feeding probably.
There we go.
Thank you.
Right. Go ahead.
For this item, good afternoon, Mayor and members of the Policy Committee. The,
Name for the record, please.
Graciela Briones with the MPO.
Thank you.
The 2025-2028 Transportation Improvement Program, which we call TIP, is a federally required document which MPO is developing in cooperation with all their planning partners to program mobility and transit projects for a 4-year period. All MPO TIP documents are subsequently combined to form the statewide Transportation Improvement Program. Then TxDOT amends the TIP on a quarterly basis. All the revisions to the TIP involving major changes require a public review and comment period and formal action by the MPO Policy Committee prior to being added to the TIP. So our MPO Public Participation Plan requires a 10-day public review and comment period for amendments to the TIP, and that's the reason that we have here 2 revisions before you. In coordination with TxDOT, the following amendment is proposed. They requested the revision of project with CSJ 0018-06185, which is the new direct connector, number 3, number 4, number 6, northbound and southbound I-35 to US 59 eastbound. And the purpose of the amendment is to revise the project limits as follows. You see there the current limits are from 0.5 miles east of I-35 to 0.5 miles north of US 59. And the proposed change is the limits from 0.187 miles south of I-35 US 59 intersection to .205 miles north of IH 35, US 59 intersection. The second revision is in coordination with El Metro. The revision is of a brief project description of transit federal funding category 5339 for fiscal years 2025, 26, 27, and 28. The purpose of the amendment is to add the words support vehicles to the existing project description to read, originally, or the current description says funds will be used for replacing heavy-duty buses and paratransit vans and bus facility improvements, and now they're adding the word support vehicle as shown on the screen. So these are the two revisions before you for your approval.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
So the first one, the proposal you're doing on, I-35 to 59, that's the connection from 59 all the way to 35 through the side, or is it, Mr. Pandilla?
Yeah, if Tech Talk could help us answer that just to make sure, but, yeah, it's a connection on 35 to the interchange going towards World Trade Bridge, I believe, but can Tech Talk clarify
Sure.
specific?
So what, this amendment is for the three remaining direct connectors. So we recently completed two, additional connectors here, recently at the 59 and 35 interchange, basically the flyover.
Oh, okay.
So this is for the remaining, the three. And so there's gonna be one from southbound 35 to eastbound 59.
Okay.
There's gonna be one from, westbound or, 59 to northbound 35. And the remaining one is gonna be, from northbound 35 to eastbound 59, so. Those are the- yeah.
This project was already on the tip. So, when there's a change to like the project limits, that's considered a formal revision, so we have to go through this process.
Sorry for my tardiness.
I just got yours one. Just for the record, just to recognize Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Galos here, are here.
Yes,
Thank
no.
you.
Thank you.
Yes. So we just need a motion to open the 10-day comment period.
So moved. Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed, motion passed.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Number C. We're gonna continue?
You want me to read the item here?
Yes, please.
Okay, item 4C, receive public testimony and initiate a 10-day public review and comment period for the proposed revision to the 2025-2050 Metropolitan Transportation Plan, MTP. Okay, every time we do a change or a modification to the tip, we have to match the projects and the content that we have in the MTP. So we are presenting also here, one of the tables that we have under our current MTP that showed the project 0018-06185. You see here is the existing, the way it used to read the limits. And this is the way the limits will read now, with the change proposed.
So as Ms. Bedores mentioned, whenever there's a change to the tip, we need to change that on our Metropolitan Transportation Plan as well. So we're reflecting the same change on the project limits. We just need to ask if anyone's here to speak for or against and make a motion to open the 10-day comment period for the revisions.
All right.
Move to initiate the 10-day public hearing.
So moved.
Motion second,
Second.
all in favor? Opposed, motion passed.
And Mayor, if I may,
Yes.
I know this is limited to our area, but, I guess really a question for Epi is, you know, the Webb County has a proposal to the legislature, somehow connecting, toll road, 130 to 35. And I don't know how we can continue to promote that, whether, I know they came back and were informing us $5 billion, X, Y, Z, you know. Maybe like connecting South 1604, you know, looking at existing routes and, you know, not having to make a new route. But if we can somehow continue to promote that, because the truck traffic is just getting astronomical. And I think we can get, help from the I-35 corridor, because, you know, San Antonio and San Antonio and Austin are just inundated. And I think if we can get more traffic to that toll road.
I think that's a very, very good idea. I think, you know, this has come up before, and, you know, we haven't looked at it in, you know, significant detail, but it does. I think it does, it will help divert traffic around San Antonio, traffic that doesn't need to go into San Antonio, Austin area, so I definitely think it's something worthwhile to pursue.
Well, everybody seems to love it, they just don't like the price, right? But I mean, if we don't start it now, it's never gonna get done. And the way the toll road is set up now, the way it terminates in Seguin, it's just it's really to no one's advantage to take it. And I think that's why it failed the first time, you know.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Number D.
Thank you, Mayor. This is discussion with possible action to approve resolution number MPO 2025-03, adopting and supporting the FY 25 Texas Department of Transportation pavement and bridge performance measures and targets. This item is supported by the technical committee and the staff to approve the resolution. The last time we adopted these performance measures and targets was in 2023. Every time they're updated, we need to update them since we support the state targets. The only change TxDOT's doing to these bridge targets at this time is for the percentage of pavements of the non-interstate national highway system in poor condition. They're just doing an adjustment to the 4-year target from 1.5% to 2.5%. So we would just like to ask your support to adopt this resolution to continue supporting TxDOT's targets for bridge performance and pavement.
So move to approve the resolution number MPO 2025-03.
Second.
Motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Number E.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, item 4E, it's discussion with possible action to authorize the 2025 call for projects for the Laredo-Webb County Area MPO Transportation Alternatives TA Set-Aside Program and improve the application guidelines and funding levels. Ms. Briones will give a brief presentation. The last call for projects was opened in 2022. We awarded projects in 2023, and now we're doing a new call for projects. This is for category 9 projects, which are transportation alternatives for like bicycle, pedestrian type projects. So Ms. Briones will go into more detail on that.
All right, go ahead.
Graciela Briones again from the MPO staff. A quick overview. In all urbanized areas with populations with over 200,000 and under the bipartisan infrastructure law, what we call bill, the Transportation Alternatives Set Aside, also known as TASA program from the Surface Transportation Block Grant, provides funds that are distributed to all MPOs. The local TASA program, as administered by L.W. Campo, provides funding to plan and or to construct a variety of alternative transportation projects that improve safety and mobility for non-motorized travelers and mitigate congestion by providing safe alternatives to motor vehicle transport. All MPOs are required to develop a competitive process for selecting projects that we call the call for projects. The funding and match requirements. The TASA program is not a grant. No money is provided upfront. The TASA federal funds are provided on a cost reimbursement basis. These funding provides 80% of federal funds with a 20% minimum local match required. The TASA funds are available for application for 3 years. The potential federal funds available For fiscal year 2026, 2027, 28, total about 2.3 million. And we are proposing a maximum amount for the three different project categories: planning and development studies, 150,000; design and construction, 1,250,000; and for construction only, 1 million. That's as the max target amount for
May
these
I ask,
categories.
Go ahead. Yes.
what can we use these funds on? I'm sure they're restricted.
Yes, so these are transportation alternative projects, so things such as bike lanes, sidewalks, bus shelters, and that's what we've used them for in the past. On our last call for projects, we awarded some sidewalks downtown, as well as 12 bus shelters for El Metro. So they're restricted to those type of
And
projects.
the match comes from where?
The project sponsor that applies, so for example, if the city were to apply, they would be providing the local match. The minimum required match is 20%, but they can provide more than that.
So why aren't we obligating the whole 2.3 million?
Okay, let me go back to that slide. That's the federal funding that's available, so with the match, it's actually more.
Oh, you
more
do
than
have.
that. That's only
You
federal
got
funds
2.4, but, okay.
for federal, so yeah.
Okay,
So
is
for
that
example-
including the 20%?
That does not include the 20%. So for example, in that construction only category in the bottom, if a project were to submit, request $1 million in federal funds, they would need to provide that local match of 250,000. So that does not include the,
I mean, 200,000.
yeah, 200,000, sorry, the local match.
Okay. Well, so we got 2.4, I mean, yeah, 2.4 committed, and we only got available 2.3.
Yeah, so yeah, and I knew this question would come up, so it's, am I confusing? So the funds we have available is 2.292, right? 2,292,894, and these targets amounts are the maximum we would award per project. But that doesn't mean, like, for example, if we only get 2 applications, like we did last time, you know, we could award, let's say, 2 for construction. The most we can give for each project would be $1 million. So this total won't match this total. This is just how much, because we're trying to cap at how much each applicant can ask for.
Sure, okay. And are we restricted once we adopt this? Like I say, they bring us a project, and you got construction that's, you know, design's been done, construction's 2 million, can we do it?
Well, according to the advanced funding agreement that they enter into TechStot, they would be responsible for all the overruns. So anything over the federal amount, they would have to do, provided, you know, over that 20% local match. So there's been times when, in the past, where an applicant's like, you know, we can't do the project because of the overruns or something else, and they've returned the federal funds to the bucket.
Well, okay, let me understand, the overruns, you're saying, my question is, you have construction only, you allocated $1 million.
Yes.
So you're saying 20% match is 1.2, but say the project's 1.5. So you're saying I can still come up with my 300,000.
Yeah, the project sponsor is supposed to come up with that other 300,000. It wouldn't be coming from the federal funds. The most federal funds that we'll be providing to that project will be the $1 million.
So basically,
Is it limited by $1 million, or we're making a $1 million limit?
For the federal funding, we're making that limit, but the project, you know, as you often know, it does exceed sometimes what was originally budgeted, and it does happen in several projects. But
I guess probably the easier question is, how's our history been with this? Are we using all the funds or not?
right now, there's projects that are underway. There have been some projects that have been completed. We do have some projects in the past that were awarded even before we did the last call for projects that are experiencing some inflation. So we're having those conversations if where they're gonna get that funding from. But the federal funding is still capped at whatever was awarded in the past.
Mr. Brown, you had a question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. One, is this restricted to city, county, RMA, governmental entities, or could a private entity actually apply in this call for projects?
Not a private entity, but nonprofits are also eligible, but not private entities. And it would have to be on public right of way and available to the public, so it wouldn't be able to be on private land.
Okay.
All right. Any further questions?
Well, I really wanted some clarification. So if you have concrete go up during the middle of the job and there's a cost overrun, we're gonna limit that person even though funds are available?
I mean, we'd have that conversation, because we'd wanna keep that project going.
Yeah.
So we do have funds available, we'd have to bring it back to this body to authorize more funds.
Oh.
So we would, if we do have the funds available, we'd do that, definitely.
Very well, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Could have said that the first sentence.
Yeah, that would have saved a lot.
Head it down.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Oh, so moved.
Okay, motion second.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 5, Roman numeral 5, reports and presentations, no action needed. Status report by the RMA.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. In your packet, we've provided an update on the projects that we're working on. The only thing I can say that's a change or correction is with Springfield Phase 4, that project has already started. And it had indicated that there was a notice to proceed pending, but no, that project's been underway for a week or two. And I believe there is going to be a groundbreaking ceremony at 9 o'clock on Monday morning at the location. So the rest of the information that we've updated is correct. Are there any questions of us? Thank you.
Any questions? Okay. Number B, textile project updates.
Hey, good afternoon, Jose Vargas, weather engineer. I'll cover the textile project updates for Webb County. So starting at the US 59 expansion, again, these are the project details, $344 million investment, percent complete 22. I'm glad to announce that this past week, we got to a very important milestone. The picture on your right, that's flexible base. So we're gonna start seeing some roadway being constructed. And again, on the left, we continue with installation of drainage structures. So here in the upcoming months, we're gonna start seeing more flexible base being delivered, and now the roadway is gonna start taking shape. Inspection completion date, end of 2029. We do have movement of traffic, I guess these upcoming months, as we need to cross some of the covers on Loop 20. So we're gonna be working at night, and then we're gonna be shifting traffic approximately between Delmar and Shiloh. But again, all the major closure will be happening at night. SH84 project at Ruthinger Road. Last time that I was here, I had pictures of trucks delivering beams. So right now here, the drone picture in the left, we have beams already in the caps. And again, contractor is gonna continue working on the roadway and bridge. On the right, you can see how the roadway is taking shape, along with the crossovering of future intersections on that roadway, and how the subgrade is being prepared. And again, the progress on the bridges that are going on in that project. Investment, 122 million, percent complete, around 25%. 359 widening, again, now we are placing base, the picture on your left, that's gonna be for the other side of the roadway, and again, the contractor is delivering base already, working on the roadway already, and more drainage work being done there on your picture in the right. Percent complete, 55%, total investment on that project, $50 million. Lomas del Sur, not really updates since last that I was here. We're scheduled to start here in April. I did reach out to our PIO, he's coordinating a groundbreaking. We already have discussed some locations, so he's coordinating again the groundbreaking for this project, and again tentatively start next month in April.
Quick question, sir.
Yes, sir.
For my mayor, for my.
Yeah.
On this overpasses, are we gonna close down Lomas del Sur, the entrance to Lomas del Sur? Are they gonna be shut down, or there's gonna be, I'm just.
Yeah, as we move through the different phases, we're gonna be, I guess, adjusting the access. But as of now, there's no a phase where we completely shut down access. Major work in this project, I'm anticipating again bridge work, beams, concrete pours. Typically, we do that at night, and again, we're gonna try it as much as possible to have access unless it's an emergency, right? But yeah, we don't have phases where we completely shut down the access.
Well, you don't have, I mean, you already have the separation, that won't happen for a year, 18 months, no?
Yeah, most of the work is
And
gonna
just
be
on the
towards the
northbound.
middle, yeah, and then we have to reconstruct the intersection, so we're probably gonna be, shifting traffic.
So they're going northbound first.
Yeah. Next one here, SH 255, again, from I-35, 8 miles west, total investment $25 million. We are about at 7%. We just shift the barrier to extend more structures. We are anticipating to start having roadway work probably by the middle of this year, end of June, start of July. As of now, the contractor is just working on the drainage structures to prep the area to, again, hit the road and start doing the widening, the Super 2, and start the actual reconstruction of that roadway.
So what is the ultimate plan here?
We are widening the roadway a little bit, reconstructing, and adding passing lanes.
So passing lanes, not a center lane, what?
No, we're gonna have what we call the safety buffer in the middle, 3 feet separation, not really, the regular striping, but we're not doing a complete, I guess, separation or divided highway.
What about on the existing terminals that are there now? They have acceleration, deceleration lanes? Cause I know we just did the Botines area and it turned out real nice, and then we didn't require all those forwarding agents to put a deceleration lane, so these people are moving into the middle lane to turn right,
So this particular project, like Jose was mentioning, right, is more, for reconstruction, but also just for safety purposes to add those passing lanes, intermittently, right? The ultimate plan would be basically to have like a 4-lane divided highway through this area.
I mean, that was,
And, you mentioned US 83 there, I guess, through Los Botines area, that's also, we're working on that to have that. That's part of the I-27 project. And, the initial phase is gonna be basically building the frontage roads, so very similar to what we're doing on the Achar Ruthinger, where we're building frontage roads with a pretty wide median for the future main lane. So that's gonna be changing also fairly,
I've never seen that sticker.
close, I guess, in proximity.
Even though it's bright yellow, doesn't it?
Yeah, no.
Last slide here, just to recap, running all the numbers, we currently have 937 million on active contracts, 24 projects, and again, this is a variety of scopes, full reconstruction, widening as 255. We have some off-system bridges, we have reconstruction to interstate standards, US 59, safety projects, illumination, traffic signals, and preventive maintenance, overlays, mill and inlays, and seal coats, again, for a grand total of 937 for the reporting in March. And again, last but not least, drive safely through our construction zones. Please help us share this message with the public.
Okay. Any other questions? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Number C. Update by the City of Laredo engineering staff on the FM 1472 Fletcher Lane realignment, CS 0922-33-076, and Calton Road grade separation, CSI 0922-33-093 projects.
Thank you,
Go ahead.
Honorable Chairman, members of the Policy Committee, Ramon Chavez, Assistant City Manager. So we have our consultants here for both projects, just to give a brief update. both on FM 1472 Fletcher Lane realignment. We have KCI Technologies. And also Ardura will be providing an update on Carlton Road grade separation.
Yes, go ahead.
I had a quick question for Ramon.
Yes.
I know in the past, there was some discussion about the city pursuing like a SIP loan for these projects. Is that still something the city's still looking into, or?
Yes, that's something that has been already approved by council.
Okay.
Gloria, do you remember? Yes, I'll have Gloria Saavedra from our staff ready up there.
All right.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Gloria Perez Saavedra in City of Laredo Engineering Department. Yes, we applied, we had submitted the application for the SIP loan, and we're gonna have to amend the wording, not the amounts, only the wording, and we're expecting to be in the next city council meeting to amend the application. And then the process is keeping continuing, we haven't stopped.
All right,
So we're
thank
gonna
you.
be responsible for any overruns on the projects, on both.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
What's the estimated cost on that project, on the Calvin Road?
I think they will be providing that information as part of the update, yes.
Good afternoon, committee members. Edward Ochoa with KCI Technologies for the record. I'll be giving you an update on the Las Cruces realignment project. The project, just kind of a brief update to remind everybody, this project will realign Las Cruces Drive to intersect with Mines Road at the intersection of Fletcher Lane. The purpose of the project is to improve mobility and safety for the east-west traffic between Mines Road and I-35. It will go ahead and create a signalized four-way intersection with the alignment. So as Las Cruces realigns, it's going to have kind of a little dog leg down and align with Fletcher Lane, which will now create a four-way signalized intersection at Fletcher and Mines Road with Las Cruces. The project consists of about 900 feet of new roadway and will include sidewalks, access ramps, grading, drainage, asphalt paving streets, street lights, and traffic signal upgrades. The project will also include the installation of 10 foot by 7 foot box culverts that will be placed crossing the tributary of Las Manadas Creek that's located just east of the Mines Road right there. A portion of the tributary will also be realigned, and we'll have some concrete riprap around the area of the culvert. A portion of the existing Las Cruces Drive roadway, so right where Las Cruces Drive has a little low hump right now, that portion of the roadway will, where it crosses the tributary, will be removed, and an open channel will be constructed there to allow the water to free flow through that portion of Las Cruces. The project required securing new right-of-way and easements for the new alignment. The project will help move over it will help with the movement of over 1,000 trucks that are traveling through that area. So we've got about 1,000 trucks that travel east-west between I-35 and the Mines Road in that area. A little status on the submittal. We've submitted the 100% signed and sealed plans, specifications, and estimates to the City of Laredo and to TxDOT. We did that on February 27th, so a little bit, almost a month ago. We are on track right now for a May 2025 letting. Once the project is let, we anticipate approximately 2 to 3 months to get the bidding and award for the contractor to happen. That will put us with anticipated start of construction kind of summer, early fall possibly. And we've got a duration schedule of 8 months for this project. So anticipated construction completion, we anticipate would be somewhere around spring of 2026. The construction cost for this project is estimated at about $5 million. On the utility coordination side, we've had some utilities that we've had to relocate. We've been working through the utility coordination portion already. We anticipate that all the utilities will be relocated before the start of construction. We have one utility relocation that will occur during the construction, and that's a water line. We have a City of Laredo water line that needs to get out of the way of some storm drainage that we're constructing, probably about 100 linear feet of water line. So that'll be done during construction. On the environmental side, the whole project team with the city, we went through an effort to avoid potential mitigation and scheduling effects to the project team was able to redesign the channel and the culvert crossings at the stream, which resulted in considerable cost and time savings to the city. There was just a portion of that as we were working within the limits of the stream, we worked within the guidelines and were able to do that so that no mitigation was needed for this project. So we received our environmental clearance already from everybody involved. And that's really all I have, I guess, as far as updates to the project, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions.
All right. Any
Somebody else
questions?
gonna have the, Calton Road?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we have our consultant, Ardura, Roberto Gallegos, who works under Arcadis, giving us the update.
Thank you, Ramon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Roberto Gallegos. I work with Ardura Engineering. And like it was said, we're a sub-consultant from Arcadis on behalf of the city of Laredo on this project. Just a little background on the project. Calter Overpass is an overpass that it goes in Calter Road over Santa Maria. And the project limit extends from Tesoro Plaza to Warehouse Lane. The length of the project is about 50 linear feet, and the length of the bridge is about 850 feet. The status on the project is we submitted plans to TxDOT last year for 100% preliminary. Comments were received, comments were incorporated, but due to TxDOT Bridge Division, the bridge, it's under review. It's the Union Pacific on that has been requested the entire construction agreement process to reinitiate, which will take about 12 months since the bridge plans has been updated to comply with the TxDOT new standards. Plans will be resubmitted after the plans are revised per TxDOT Bridge Review Standards and Division Review. Also, this project consists of new utilities, installing new utilities and relocating existing utilities to adapt to this new road. 100% has been submitted to be reviewed by the city of Laredo, and the Union Pacific permit is ready to be submitted. However, utility crossing permits have an expiration date and would like to be submitted once we have certainty to the timeline for approval for the Union Pacific on the overpass design. Spectrum and AT&T have completed their redesign for the utilities and have resolved conflicts on paper, only pending construction schedule from these companies. Based on all this, it appears Texas has moved the letting date for fiscal year 2027 with the letting date of September 2026. Previously, thought this was conservative. However, Union Pacific's requirements to reinitiate the construction agreement will like costs to be right on track with September 2026 letting date. Quick overview, comments were received from TxDOT. We received TxDOT comments on April and May 2025, and this is tentative. We have not heard of, as of now, any updates from TxDOT division. Revised plans based on any comments will be due that May, June 2025, and it will take about 6 weeks for completion. So once we receive those comments, review of Union Pacific for draft of new construction agreement, it will take from June 2025 to June 2026. And TxDOT approval for letting project fall of 2026. We will visit with Arcadis and TxDOT to ensure that the project moves along to hit its new revised letting date. If anybody has any questions, be happy to answer.
Mayor,
Yes, go ahead.
estimated cost?
It's about 16.2 for the roadway and 2.6 for the utilities.
For the overpass and the roadway?
Yep.
16?
Overpass?
Yep.
A full-blown overpass is gonna be 16 million?
Yep.
I guess it's just a 2-lane, no?
Yep.
Just a 2-lane overpass, okay. And how much of the federal funds do you have left?
I don't know the city.
It was 20 or 24 million 20 years ago. And about, huh?
Gloria Perez for the record, Engineering Department. The AFA, the Advanced Funding Agreement, was signed back in 2012. And on that time, we estimated that the construction of the project will be 16.2 million. That includes everything. But now with inflation
Back
and
then.
13 years has passed, so that's why we have this new.
Well, I can't believe you bid it at 16 million back then. It should be 45 million now.
What depends what type of overpass. Are we looking like overpasses like the ones we're building in the loop, or
Like the Guadalupe
No,
overpass
no,
over the
it's
train
just
tracks?
they're two lane, but,
This is
Yeah.
currently steel.
yeah.
Most of the overpasses are constructed with concrete. In this project, we have it with steel.
And that's why I had to go back to the railroad, right?
Correct.
But that was over a year ago too, no, wasn't it?
Well, it's because Texas changes their standards every 10 years. So last year, 2024, we received the revised
Yeah,
specifications. So we
but
have to revise our design to comply.
I remember having that conversation, I guess it was here, where you got changed from concrete to steel. Then now Union Pacific has to see again and again. And have they started that initial review, or you haven't done it because we had to wait for TxDOT to finish their review?
Correct. We requested to UPR if they can start doing the review at the same time when we submit it to TxDOT and then to UPR. But they informed us that that is not possible because we have to revise some sections of the
Yeah.
bridge.
And so they'll say they don't want this, and then you have to send it back to TxDOT, and
And until TxDOT gives us the okay, that's where we're gonna submit to UPR.
we understand, I mean, that was one of the other things we talked about at the legislature. We need some help at the federal level with the railroads because they're completely out of control. Anyway, well, I'm surprised at their cost. And are all the legal issues taken care of? Because I understand there was still one outstanding.
Right now, we do have one property that is pending to be acquired, and our real estate division is working on that section of right away. That's the only thing that we have pending. The environmental has been cleared.
And some of the ones that you did acquire, didn't they have time limits?
Well, yes, I know right now the appraisal has been provided, and I'm pretty sure the
I'm not saying, there was
negotiations.
some that have been acquired that were actually eminent domain. And I think they had, the settlement was a time limit, X number of years to complete the project, and those years have come and gone. I just wanna make sure, because if you're gonna go and ask for a SIP loan, how much is the SIP loan? Just,
The SIP loan for the Calhoun Road is 4.8 million, and that's to cost the overruns.
so you're acting the city taxpayers to fork that money up. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you. All right. Number D, presentation of the Laredo Economic Coalition for Improvement or Improved Highways Exchange on a potential road project connecting US 59 and SH 359.
Short people.
It's in the packet too.
No, we got it back.
Won't play the video though, but.
Oh, that's okay.
Do we need IT? Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Your Honor,
Afternoon.
esteemed members of the committee, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your time. My name is James Gonzalez, and I'm here representing the Laredo Economic Coalition for Improved Highway Exchanges, or LECHE. We are a non-for-profit founded here in Laredo, and our sole focus is working to improve the interconnectivity along East Laredo, specifically 359 and 59. I have a short presentation. I hope to get everybody out here quick. I know you all have a lot to do, so I appreciate the time. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on these first two slides. As civic leaders, everybody, or most people in this room, are well aware of the growth of the population here in Laredo. Over the last 20 years, we've experienced a significant growth as a city. The only thing that has really grown faster than our population is our trade. Again, everybody in this room recognizes, I think, today, the importance of trade to Laredo and Laredo's importance to the economy, and not just nationally, but for the Western Hemisphere. We're increasingly becoming the center of trade, and that trend seems to continue forward. The result of that growth, though, there has been some issues that have accompanied that growth, as accompanies all growth over time. As I mentioned, our area of focus is specifically 359 and 59. The traffic counts along these areas have increased substantially in the last 20 years, not only with light vehicle traffic, but additionally with heavy-duty traffic increasing in proportion. You see the expansion of developments along that area as well, both commercial and residential, that increase exponentially, and I'll have a slide kind of highlighting some of that growth here coming next. Despite the best efforts of the civic leaders in this room and others, there has been no additional improvement of the infrastructure out there to improve interconnectivity between either 59 or 359 and alleviate the congestion out there. And the result is, right now, we do have a situation that presents a danger to the citizens of Laredo, where in the event of evacuation or some accident along those roadways, 359 and 59 can become easily congested and potentially impassable at times. Again, the growth along 359, just to highlight, again, there has been significant growth along 359 and 59, but the majority of the growth, as most of the members of this committee would be aware, has occurred along 359. That development continues to seemingly accelerate, adding more users onto an already congested roadway. So the problem, as we discussed, there's a significant increase in traffic in this area. But despite the increase in traffic, there is no interconnectivity between these times. That results in longer commute times for citizens and people living along these areas. The lack of connectivity also, from a civic standpoint, does affect ability of emergency responders to meet their duties. And as I brought up briefly, the routine accidents along these roadways can often either disrupt or completely eliminate the egress to and from the city of Laredo, at least in an easterly direction. And critically, for South and East Laredo, parts of it right now are isolated from the growth and development that the rest of the city has enjoyed. As I mentioned, there hasn't been connectors developed for this area. However, the county is working on one right now. That connector is working through the Gator Point neighborhood. It's a critical infrastructure project, and one that this community desperately needs. However, that Gator Point project is going to be one connector for East Laredo. And when you look at the future infrastructure development plans for that area, you will find that connector road about 4.5 miles from the current proposed loop. Our solution would be a secondary connector route that reduces the distance between the outer loop and another route that connects the two highways. In addition, we propose a roadway that would serve as a designated heavy-duty truck route for the area, making sure to push heavy-duty truck traffic as far east of the city limits as we can, and hopefully reducing the disruption to the Gator Point and Heritage Parks neighborhoods for the proposed connector that Webb County is currently looking at. These are just some photos of Gator Point, and there's a video. I won't spend a lot of time through it. For all of you that are unaware, this is a developing neighborhood. The roadway would impact the community like any others. That being said, it is again a critical infrastructure need. So the roadway here we view as a supplemental to the roadway we're proposing, and in combination the two allow the facilitation of the movement of traffic in a more efficient manner. This is the roadway. There's a video here. You all hopefully will have access to it. I'll be glad to email it to anybody that needs it. It will show you the route if you actually go through Gator Point. And again, the roadway is going to need to be expanded to accommodate any traffic, no matter what. But for the expansion to accommodate heavy-duty traffic, there are some issues that this this pathway does present. So what we propose is a divide and conquer strategy. Looking at the points that we've raised, it does not invalidate Gator Point. Again, I continue to recommend to this committee, as somebody that travels 359 frequently, anything that this committee can do to increase mobility in that area is welcome and improved. But again, we do have to recognize that one solution may not be a one-size-fits-all. And so what we are concerned, or what we highlight here, is the impacts to these neighborhoods with especially heavy-duty traffic, truck and bus traffic on those roads, and how that will impact those neighborhoods. And our solution that we present to the committee, right, and we got Leche, and Leche has what the region needs. Again, I continue to mention that this would be, we view it as a sister project to Gator Point. These projects are not standalone, they don't exist with each other, and you don't get maximum benefit choosing one or the other. This is not a competition of funds, this is rather a vision for how you expand mobility for the future of Laredo. One important thing to recognize about the alignment that we have on there, which is indicated by that orange line, that alignment does run through a previous alignment that TxDOT had looked at for the loop. And I do want to state that that alignment does have a 400-foot right-of-way available to it. So the county, the state, RMA, TxDOT, anybody could take up that right-of-way, allowing for a lot of future accommodation, but could insert a road much less significant than the proposed loop, which would reduce the impacts to the neighborhoods in that area. There are some colonias in that area. And the most important thing about what Leche does for the region is it sets up a grid system for East Laredo, not presented on this map because I didn't have the official confirmation of them. To the west of the South Texas Parkway, approximately 3 miles west, you would have Gator Point, and 1.6 miles east, you would have the loop. And then on the north side, you would have 59. In the middle, you have Clark. On the southern edge, you would have 359. That sets up an intelligent grid system that allows the movement of traffic, facilitation in the event of evacuations or emergencies, and allows that area to experience the growth that the rest of Laredo is enjoying as well.
James, is that your property, the yellow?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you got both, I mean, you got that on both sides of Clark, I guess?
Yes, sir. That is our personal property. That's not the nonprofits. That's a different entity.
And on the north side, it's all herd, right?
Yes, sir. And we have had discussions with the herds. They are amenable to this plan. I have not gotten official confirmation, so I don't want to imply that, but they certainly are amenable to looking at routes and ways to improving the mobility in that area.
And the section from your southern border to 359, is that all Colonia there, or what is that?
Yeah, I can,
La Blanca.
so he's highlighting is that one. That is what that section looks like.
Oh, okay, so there is an open track then?
Yes, there is an open, and I actually, this is what that alignment looks like in real life.
And is that one owner, or is that various owners, or what is that?
To my knowledge, Commissioner, there are 3 owners comprising this tract.
Is that the one we're working on now? The one,
Further, a little bit east of Gator Point.
No, what's the name of the creek there?
The road here, the road on this side is Welch Road.
Yeah, that's it. We have some property in there.
Yeah.
Webb County owns some of that property that's open. And I know there's some flood issues and stuff, but.
Yes, sir.
that
There
can
are
be
some drainage
mitigated,
issues
yeah.
that would have to be
Okay.
overcome
Yeah. Okay.
through engineering and road construction. Yes, sir.
All right.
And again, this is a view from 359 of that roadway. And so what I'm humbly asking from the committee, as a nonprofit, we are looking for funds to go out and complete the right-of-way, topographical, and environmental studies. These are crucial to be able to get a project shelf-ready. We want to be able to do that. In addition, hopefully garner letters of support.
We're all looking at Jeff.
I actually
Look,
pointed
we're all
out-
like, look right here.
This was already teed up, by the way. I don't know if
I
you
know.
that. Just letting you know that.
And
Jeff's gonna be your
additionally,
best friend from now on.
And additionally, we are looking from the committee as a whole, but as well as the individual agencies that comprise this committee for letters of support, so we can go out and try to vie for some federal funding for the highway bill that's working its way through Congress right now. Committee members, that is my presentation. I thank everybody for their time, and I'm glad to answer any questions.
Epi, if I may,
Yeah, go ahead.
how far is this location from some of the outer loop stuff that you all have proposed?
Yes. So I think you said 1.5 miles? more or less?
To my knowledge, based on we work with Topside Engineering, and from their understanding of the last route that is currently published, it's about 1.6 miles.
Yeah. So our outer loop is still about 1.5 miles, a little, maybe a little bit more further east.
Yes, sir.
Of this location, so.
That's,
And so one of the things that we're looking at is we're actually, getting ready to procure 3 consultants. So we're gonna break up the outer loop into 3 segments. One is basically from.
yeah, I remember that.
From the south to 359, 359 to 59, and then, 59 north, right? So.
And I'm trying to remember where the concentration, where we had the problem. Was it coming south of 59 to get into 59 or 59 north? I mean, 359. Because I remember where the congestion is bad. Obviously here, there's an opening.
Correct.
It sure makes life a lot easier, and if you got willing participants.
But that's the problem.
Hmm?
That's the little hiccup right now. The willing participants are not there.
Yeah, there's 3 owners in there. I'm looking
Huh?
at it. I'm looking on an ownership.
No, but the owners, I don't have a problem, but I mean, the study that came out from TxDOT, when you all looked into that particular, and I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here, but I'm just trying to say, during that whole colonia, or that whole, that whole development, they didn't want that road through there, do they?
I'm not sure, Roberto.
Roberto Rodriguez with Texas. Yes, that's right. That's right. During the public involvement that we had for this route, there was a lot of opposition from the community. And to have this road through the middle of the community.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
So, just for text, where is that outer loop are gonna connect from the south of 359?
From the south, so right now, we're actually working on the Cuatro Vientos extension, and then the connection from that point back to 83. So, I mean, we don't have exhibits here to show you, but, basically from near that, new proposed international bridge, basically to 359.
Yeah, but where exactly at 359, do you have a location?
359, we're talking about Las Blancas.
Las Blancas.
Yes, we're there.
Yeah.
But Roberto, you don't mind, when you proposed it, I know that there was 3 sites that y'all proposed to the public, y'all had a public meeting. That was the worst one that came, that's the one that got the most opposition. But what size of road were you also, proposing? Cause I mean, if it's literally bumping up right next to their, backyards or whatever the case may be, I mean, I guess I'd be against it as well. Can we narrow that down, and maybe will they, they'd be a little happier with it? What was their main problem with it?
If I remember correctly, I mean, this was quite a few years back. It's there was a church on one side, and there is a community. Most of the community was in the other side. So even though we were starting proposing, we had 400-foot right away, but we were starting building in phases. 2 lanes on one side, then the other 2 lanes in the future, which will become the frontage roads, and then the main lanes. But what I remember their comments were they didn't want their kids crossing a highway to go to church. And I believe even there was a school proposed or something like that, and they said, we don't want our kids going back and forth.
Well, I mean, church, yeah, I have to disagree with that little thought process, because there's churches everywhere and there's roads everywhere, and it's just the way it's gonna be. But I guess what I'm trying to think is, and maybe it does need to go to the RMA for a little study, because I think if we narrow that road down to a certain point and use our road as a little bit of a wider road, you maybe make this one a commercial vehicle, more residential vehicle. I guess you could, if you wanna do that. I mean, I don't know if we can restrict that or not, but.
I do think the point you highlighted is very valid. When TxDOT was presenting the loop going through there, That was resoundingly rejected by and I will not have to speak for TechStot, if I remember correctly, the impact studies came back, very negative, in terms of their impact. But that is for a roadway that was gonna have 6 lanes, that's gonna be divided and have 2 arterial lanes on either side. What we are proposing, Parkway is much narrower than what a loop would look like. But in theory, Your Honor, you could build a 150-foot roadway and have 75 feet on either side of frontage. That would obscure the impact, or would reduce the impact to the.
What's the width of the track that's there now?
I believe it is 400 feet right now.
Oh, right.
If, you talking about the vacant track?
Yeah.
I just checked on my phone, I came up with 560 feet.
Yeah, but
I mean, I'm not saying that's right on.
It's a
but that's-
smartphone though.
Don't take his word for it. But yeah, so, Mayor, if I may as well, I mean, that's a great possibility. Obviously, do we need it? Yes, we do. I mean, currently through the city spearheading another project and then RMA being involved as well, you're gonna have that connection pretty soon where 83 South traffic's gonna go through Lomas del Sur overpass, you know, and then cross over and connect to Concord Hills. So more bottlenecking on 359. So Gator Point, of course we need it. Do we need this one as well? Of course. Even the outer loop, that's gonna be for the other traffic coming in from Mexico, so.
Yeah,
we
and
do
again,
need
I
it.
continue to highlight that Gator Point is addressing a need now. I mean, this is addressing an imminent problem that is, it may be a few years even, that again, the committee has been working to address. And so this is really about looking out also into the future and saying, as that eastbound progress continues along 359, what do we do as a community to make sure we're planning intelligently so that we avoid these problems in the future?
Mayor, so how does this compare to the thoroughfare map? I mean, like the thoroughfare map identifies both, north-south corridors as well as east-west corridors, so does this line up with what the thoroughfare map shows?
Geez, I wish my engineers were here right now. So, from my understanding, this, and again,
What'd you get?
I'm
You
not
got
the
it in
engineer, so
yards,
I hesitate to
multiply
speak,
times
but from what I understand, Mr. Gonzalez, and perhaps TechStot would be able to comment here, there is a major route that was near here that is I believe on the route map, or I'm not sure, Mr. Mendive maybe even would be able to comment on that?
Yes, I remember, I was gonna pull up the thoroughfare map here, but when I did review it before this meeting, I did see that there wasn't exactly aligned with what you're proposing, but there was other roads also. So it would be a matter of maybe shifting one of those if this was a more viable project. But there is, other routes proposed north to south between 359 and 59, in addition to Gator Point and the outer loop. There are other roads proposed in between.
I think this is a,
179 yards, yeah.
I think this is a first good step. Obviously, we do need a study. We do have CPK, am I saying it right? CPK's?
Except one of those guys.
Canadian Pacific, you do have them obviously that cross through there, so we're gonna need a bridge regardless. You know, that's gonna need some type of bridge. So a study would be a great way to start.
I think we just need to include them. You got some willing people that are, you know, that's always help, because most of the time we're fighting to get through, so.
Yeah.
Anything we do, we need to include them.
This actual project, Mayor, if I may, this actual project and one other that came up fairly recently, created an agenda item on our board meeting next week where we're contemplating how we have a call for projects, kind of like the earlier item on this, because from time to time over the course of the year, we have different entities that approach us that would like funding. And we want to set up a system where we're receiving projects and analyzing them, evaluating them, and then picking the most worthy ones. Your project actually was one of the main reasons we've done that, is how to look at it, which is why I asked the pointed question earlier about who can apply. And you, I think, you know, nonprofit, I heard you say nonprofit, I heard you say nonprofit. It wouldn't be one of those things where
Probably
someone.
why.
Yeah.
You're a nonprofit?
And other governmental entities, so.
I will say, I believe the IRS is still finishing the 501c part, but we are registered with the state of Texas as a nonprofit.
Well, so, I mean.
You don't
Do you
get
wanna-
USAID though, right?
No, definitely not, Commissioner.
Do you want it a form of a resolution from the MPO to take it to the RMA, or you want it just to go straight to the RMA?
Let us have our board meeting next week, Judge, and just so we can start the process, but
Well, what I'm saying is, as you could go to the RMA board and say, the MPO kind of already supports
Oh, yeah.
you all going for a study.
it certainly doesn't hurt.
So
I mean,
moved.
this,
Second.
Motion, second, all in favor? Opposed, motion passes.
And
Thank you.
again,
Thank you,
I'd like, TxDOT, keep it on their radar. They know there's an outlet there.
Webb County's part of, we own a truck there, just for you to know.
Oh, okay. I guess I had it.
We're
I
gonna
know
be
that there
really
was
hard to
three.
deal with though.
I do thank everybody for their time, and please, if there's any additional questions I can answer, we'd be glad to extrapolate with anybody and spend any time we need. Thank you.
Very good.
gentlemen.
Thank you. Barely gavel.
Yes, director's comments?
I'm sorry, Juan. I did that to you once, I can't do it to you twice.
Ready?
He's like, I did it to him last time.
Yeah.
Poor guy, he stayed there afterwards talking to himself.
I know you all could read the comments, but I do like to just give brief highlights on them. So, I did attend an MPO Handbook Advisory Committee meeting virtually on March 12th. So I'm actually involved in participating in that committee to create an MPO handbook statewide. And then on March 13th and 14th, I was in Austin for the MPO Directors Tempo meeting. And then, at the end of the month, March 28th through April 1st, myself and Ms. Gracie Briones will be in Denver for the American Planning Association National Planning Conference. On the microtransit feasibility study update, we continue to work with the Metro and the consulting team on that study. We had a public meeting on February 28th at a Metro Transit Center. We had some stakeholders attend. TxDOT was there as well, and a lot of transit riders provided their feedback. We expect that report to be completed by April, with presentations to this committee and the Mass Transit Board planned for May. For the Texas Transportation Commission meetings, the next meetings are March 27th, April 24th, and May 21st. We did send out the calendar invites that were requested. I will be attending that next March 27th meeting in Austin in person. If anybody else would like to attend, just let us know. I will be there that day and report back the following month. So we did send out the invitations for the following months. We didn't want to send out the whole year. There's a lot, and some meetings are subject to change. So we just send out the next few months for out. Every month we'll add one additional month. At our upcoming regularly scheduled MPO meetings, we have our Active Transportation Committee, March 26th. That's virtual. Technical Committee, April 8th. And we'll meet here at the Policy, with the Policy Committee on April 16th. Are there any questions?
Questions?
Is anyone planning to, we all know if anyone's planning to attend that meeting, March 27th? I will be there, so if you want to email me after.
Okay. Any communications?
Mayor?
Yep. Go ahead.
Just wanted to remind everybody, next Tuesday, we're having a public meeting for FM 1472 from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Barbara Faskin Center. Definitely, hope I can see everybody out there, and again, it's for a study that we're doing on 1472, and it's actually two segments. The first segment is from 69 to about 2 miles north of 3338, and then the next segment is from that point all the way to 255. So
What day of the week is that?
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
March 25th.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Second for motion of adjournment. He's already moved it, I was seconding it.
All in favor, meeting adjourned.
There you go.